I think when we see some injustice or some bad things or some suffering happening, if we ignore it, I think that is indifference. For example, in Sri Lanka, there have been many people who have been whose family members have disappeared, gone missing, and the relatives have been trying very hard to find what happened to them. And often they are on the streets asking for truth and justice. They go to police to make complaints, they go to file court cases. So we can see them, we can hear them, but sometimes we see, but we don't want to actually be conscious of what they are saying and what they are. We don't actually listen too much, although we can hear them saying something. So I think that is for me indifference.
Indifference often comes from the discrimination. There is a prevalence of various forms of discrimination in our society, and discrimination are based on uh, inhuman poverties. These poverties are existing in a form of economic, culture, and social backgrounds.
Indifference, for me, is standing away from our mandate. Can we go and identify the areas that are within our organizational frameworks that we have not been able to run along with? Once we identify those, then we would have identified our indifference.
It is one of the things is the inequality, inequality of income between countries and inside a country, like in Indonesia. So we have here a very steep inequality, indifference from many people who has the power, who has the wealth, and they are just letting in so bad always as always. So business as usual is the only term always going on.
Indifference helps one to be more comfortable, particularly mentally, but also physically. So if you are indifferent, you don't have to share your house with a refugee who has no house. You don't have to share your even little part of your wealth with a person who is desperately in need of food or clothing or shelter or some medical supplies.
Society treats you indifferently depending upon your economic class, or if you are belongs to a certain particular gender groups, or you are from certain caste, creed, or ethnicity, or if you are from some kind of marginalized, backwarded regional community, and hence dividing whole society into powerful and powerless.
The first impact is that inequality will lead to poverty. So the poor will be always poor because they don't have a way to improve their level of income, not to say their wealth.
For us, as Pax Romana in Kenya, we're encouraging our members to proactively participate in socio-economic discussions, which translates to politics.
Let people see and experience mercy in their lives through the work of justice and peace that Pax Romana promotes universally.
I am glad to have the latest report from the IMF. It has been said that the neoliberalism has been leading the economy to higher inequality and also to lower growth.
I think to be a Christian is to be disturbed by what is going on around you and to be sensitive to what is going on around you. Indifference can be individually but also collectively as groups and as a movement. No? So of course we cannot respond to each and every situation of injustice and to help each and every person who is in trouble. But I think as a group and as a collective, we must be sensitive to what is going on, and when we plan our actions, when we do our reflections, those must be grounded to what is going on. Our reflections and our actions must not be indifferent to the ground situation, particularly of injustices and sufferings.
We also would want to change mindsets, not only at the professional level, but at younger levels. And that's why we have a high school students mentorship program where we basically discuss with the students the issues affecting them.
I would like to give an example what we have been doing in Nepal as a Pax Romana members. Such as in Nepal, for the last 2 years, we have been actively involving with the human rights advocacy as a part of the coalition that involves at least 1,000 civil society organizations, which is probably one of the largest coalition in the world for the human rights activities.
Once we implement what should be able to work for the continent, once we implement what should be able to work for Kenya, then we have moved from indifference to mercy.